As we know, we are here for Palo Alto Firewall Training. First of all, we will discuss the content which we will cover in this entire training. And for that, you can go to I-MEDITA website, then live training, then Palo Alto. Here you can see the content which we will cover in this entire training. So this is the content objectives, what we will cover in this training, and below you will see that detailed information. Now let's start. So first here you can see we have section of security platform and architecture. In this section, we will learn what is firewall, what are the firewall techniques available in the market, like packet filtering, proxy server, stateful firewall, and transparent firewall, as well as next generation firewall. After firewall introduction, we will go through with Palo Alto firewall introduction, how many features provided by Palo Alto, and why it is different as compared to another vendor's firewall. Then we will learn here Palo Alto lab setup. In Palo Alto lab setup, we will share resources with you. Everything which is required to set up lab, those resources will be shared by us, as well as we will also tell you that how you can create your own lab at your desktop or laptop. After lab setup, we will do here firewall basics. In firewall basics, we will learn how to access Palo Alto firewall, how to configure host name, domain name, banner, DNS server, NTP server address, how to configure IP address, how to take configuration backup, how to restore backup, how to reset admin password. As well as Palo Alto firewall is a zone-based firewall. Here we will learn how to configure zone on checkpoint firewall. In every lab, we will configure zone. Don't worry about it. After this, then we have interface configuration. Here we will learn static routing, default routing, and path monitoring on IP version 4. This training will be covered in two ways. First, we will do the things with the help of GUI. After GUI, we will learn those things with the help of CLI. After basic static routing, default routing, and path monitoring, we will move toward advanced routing. In advanced routing, we will learn how to implement and troubleshoot RIP, how to implement and troubleshoot OSPF, how to implement and troubleshoot BGP. This is our IPv4 routing. Next, we have IPv6 static routing, default routing, and path monitoring. Then we will learn here how to implement and troubleshoot OSPF version 3, how to implement and troubleshoot multi-protocol border gateway protocol. After IPv4 and v6 routing, we will move to next section, security and net policies. Here we will learn how to, first of all, we will go through with the introduction of network address translation. What is net? Why it is important? Types of net available on the Palo Alto. Then we will do the lab of static net, dynamic net, PET, port address translation. We will also do the net of destination net based on port, as well as we will learn here how to deploy UNet. In this section, we will also learn, or we will also discuss about Palo Alto packet flow. Done. So this here we will also discuss about Palo Alto packet flow. After this, we will move toward we will move toward next section, that is IPsec VPN. First of all, we will do the theory of we will do the theory what is IPsec VPN, and later we will do the practicals. We will learn here how to configure site to site VPN with IKE version 1, as well as how to configure site to site VPN with IKE version 1 and IKE version 2. Then we will also learn that how to deploy dynamic routing in site to site VPN. After that, we will also learn here how to configure site to site VPN with certificate based authentication. Normally, we can configure VPN using two-way with the help of pre-shared key or with the help of certificate. We will use here both approaches. So pre-shared key and certificate authentication, we will learn here. When we will implement site to site VPN, definitely we will do the mistake. We will also learn here how to troubleshoot it. After site to site VPN implementation on Palo Alto, we will also learn how to configure site to site VPN, Palo Alto and Cisco router with Cisco ASA, with FortiGate firewall, with checkpoint firewall, okay, and with checkpoint firewall, with Juniper firewall. We will also learn how to configure site to site VPN with overlapping subnets. We will also learn how to configure site to site VPN with Cisco FTD. So you will not only learn site to site VPN only on Palo Alto, but also on different vendors devices like Cisco router, ASA, Fortinet, Checkpoint, Juniper, and Cisco FTD. After site to site VPN, we will learn here what is Global Protect VPN. Global Protect VPN is actually SSL VPN. So we will do theory. Then we will do practical. Global Protect with full tunnel, with split tunnel with public IP, and with site to site VPN. Next, we have here vWire deployment. There are four four or five firewall techniques like packet filtering, proxy server, stateful firewall, and transparent firewall. So Palo Alto Firewall also support transparent firewall features, but that is marketed with virtual wire. So what transparent firewall and virtual wire both are the same thing. We will learn how to configure vWire, theoretical and practical. After this, we will learn here active passive, high availability introduction of active passive and active active, as well as we will do the lab of active passive and active active. These are the normal firewall features. After this, next generation's firewall features will start like decryption, introduction, and lab. Now we will discuss here what is decryption. Remember it, it is course content introduction. Detailed theory we will do at the time when its turn will come. But here, just introduction that what is decryption. Okay, now let's understand decryption. Okay, we have a PC connected with Palo Alto. Palo Alto is connected with internet. At internet, we have a server, HTTPS server. Now, client will establish a tunnel with HTTPS server or we can say it is SSL. Done. Now, client has successfully installed or established SSL or HTTPS tunnel with server. When they have secure tunnel or they have tunnel between client and server, it means they can communicate with each other in a secure way. Either the client know about the data or server know about the data. Intermediators has no idea that what they are talking, what they are exchanging. If our client is able to establish SSL tunnel with the server, it means at this time firewall has no idea what is going under the SSL tunnel. Now, using this tunnel, they can exchange along with secure communication. Exchange, they can also exchange virus. They can also exchange spyware. They can also do data loss. Now, you can see the protocol which was designed for secure communication. Now user is using that protocol to bypass the firewall. Now what we want? We want our firewall should be capable to see that what is going under the SSL tunnel. If something is suspected, then we need to drop it. This thing you can only do when your device or firewall is capable to do decryption. So with the help of decryption, we can configure our firewall in such a way that you have to look that what is going under the SSL tunnel. If something is suspected, we can drop it. So this feature is available only on next generation firewall. Palo Alto firewall is a next generation firewall and which has capability of decryption. This decryption is also known as HTTPS inspection. HTTPS inspection. When we will enable decryption, then firewall will not allow client to directly establish session with the server, and here there will be two sessions for one connection. So one session will be between client and Palo Alto, and another session will be between Palo Alto and public server in this way. Okay, so when we have data internal, only at that time our data is encrypted. Only when data is internal, it is encrypted. But when we have data at Palo Alto, data will be in the format of plain text. And that plain text data we can filter through security profiles. With the help of security profiles, we will filter that plain text data and we can send that data to in or out. Now, this thing should be clear that without decryption, client can bypass our firewall. Using SSL, they can bypass our firewall or IPS. But we want to control that user should not be able to do attack using SSL tunnel or using HTTPS tunnel. For that, we need to enable decryption. When we will enable decryption, then firewall will not allow client to directly establish session with the server. There will be one tunnel between client and firewall, and there will be second tunnel between firewall and server. At data will be encrypted when it is internal, but when data is available at firewall, that is in plain text format, we can filter that plain text data through security profile and we can send it. Done. So this feature is called decryption, or when we are looking what is going under SSL or HTTPS tunnel, that will be called decryption or HTTPS inspection. And this is available only on next generation firewall. Next generation firewall can do this. So this was your decryption. Next, we have another feature which is called App ID. Now, let's go through with App ID. Okay, so it is clear with the help of decryption, we can see what is going under SSL tunnel. But next feature is here, App ID. To understand it, let's go through with a diagram. We have a PC. We have a PC here. PC is connected with Palo Alto. Palo Alto is connected with Palo Alto is connected with internet, and at internet we have two servers like Facebook, and we have here Gmail. Client will use its dynamic port. It will hit to the port number 443 of Facebook. Client will use dynamic port. It will hit to the port number 443 of Gmail. Now you will see they will use in this connection, there will be multiple sessions. Okay, sessions will be like this. One session, then there will be another session, sufficient. Okay, now you can see when client wants to communicate with Facebook, client will use its dynamic port and it will hit to the port number 443 of server. Same here, client will use dynamic port and it will hit 443 of Gmail. So first session, they will establish of SSL. Then when we are talking about Facebook, under SSL, second session will be with Facebook. Under Facebook, they will use the session of chat, they will use the session of post, they will use the application of games. Done. In the same way, first session will be with Gmail SSL, second session will be there in that session connection Gmail, then they will use Google, Google Drive. In Google Drive, they can do upload and they can also do download. Now you can see connection is same, but they are using different application. Now, what Palo Alto can do with the help of App ID? App ID stand for application identification. Done. Application identification. Now question is this, what is application? Now you can see we have client and we have here servers. Palo Alto says that according application has no standard definition, but we have to define something. So we can say here a session or connection or communication between client and server which can be identified identify, monitor, and control is called application. Application can be a session, connection, or communication between client and server, which can be identify, monitor, and control. Palo Alto has capability that when client and server they are communicating with each other, their connection or session. Palo Alto Firewall has capability. Palo Alto can identify that this is SSL, this is Facebook chat, this is post, and this is game here. Same Palo Alto can identify this is SSL, this is Gmail, this is Google Drive, this is upload and download. As well as we can Palo Alto can monitor it, as well as Palo Alto can control it. Control means we can say to Palo Alto, you need to deny or you need to drop. Which one? You need to drop Facebook chat, you need to drop download, you need to drop or deny upload in this way. So what is app ID? With the help of app ID, we can identify, monitor, and control the session or connection or communication between client and server. To do so, we need signatures, application signatures, and those signatures will be provided by Palo Alto. Now you can see Palo Alto Firewall can identify the applications as well as it can monitor them as well as it can control them. So when we are identifying, monitoring and controlling the applications, that will be called here app ID, application identification. But remember it, we are talking here that client will establish session with SSL. So if you want, firewall should be able to successfully identify the application, we need to enable decryption. And what is decryption? We have already discussed here. Done. So with the help of app ID, you can identify the session or application as well as you can control them. So this was our app ID. What is next? Next, we have here content ID. So what is the content ID? Let's discuss. Till now, we have converted the encrypted data in plain text format with the help of decryption, and we have identified the application. Next, we have here content ID. To understand content ID, let's go through with diagram. We are discussing here content ID, which is content identification. We have PC connected with Palo Alto. Palo Alto is connected with internet, and we have here public server. Done. Client will use its dynamic port. It will hit to the public server at 443 or 80. Now server will give reply. Now we can make it clear. Done. So this server will give a reply. In reply, server will send data. That data can has virus, can has spyware, that can has restricted file like .exe file, or that like only this one. So when server is giving reply, in reply it will send data. Data can has virus, spyware, and that can has any file format which is not allowed in our organization, but user can download. Now we want to protect our network or user from virus, from spyware, from file and from data loss. To do so, we need to enable here. We need to enable content ID. When we will enable content ID, in content ID, we will enable here security profiles. In security profiles, we have profiles like antivirus, then we have anti spyware, then we have file blocking, then we have data filtering. So we need to enable antivirus, anti spyware, we need to enable antivirus, anti-spyware, file blocking, and data filtering profile. When we are enabling these things on Palo Alto Firewall, that will be called as content ID. Okay. Now, what will happen? Same client will initiate a request using port number 443. It will hit a client will use dynamic port number. It will hit port number 443. Now, server has some data. That data will be filtered through antivirus profile, anti-spyware profile, file blocking profile, and data filtering profile. Antivirus will remove virus, anti-spyware will remove spyware, file blocking will control file type, and data filtering will protect our confidential information to leave the organization. Conclusion. These profiles will help you to clean the data. Okay, so these profiles will help us to clean the data. Clean data means virus free, spyware free, controlled filed, no confidential data leakage. That clean data will be offered to the user. So when we are enabling antivirus, anti-spyware, file blocking, and data filtering profile on Palo Alto Firewall, that will be called as content ID. And remember it, this thing will work perfectly if you have enabled decryption, because normally plain text data can be filtered here, but if data is going under SSL, so we can't check that, we can't inspect that. To inspect that traffic, we need to enable decryption, and which we have already discussed here. So with the help of decryption, you can convert encrypted data in plain text. With the help of app ID, you can identify the application. With the help of content ID, you can apply antivirus, anti-spyware, file blocking, and data filtering profile so that you can remove virus, spyware, you can control file type, you can protect your confidential information to leave the organization. Next, we have here URL filtering. So what is URL filtering? To understand it, let's go through with diagram. Now we are discussing about URL filtering. In URL filtering, you can see here we have PC connected with Palo Alto. Palo Alto is connected with internet and internet is connected with servers like we have here Google, we have Facebook, we have here YouTube. This user can access any server through firewall. But now we don't want that this user should be able to access Facebook and YouTube. For that, we need to enable here URL filtering. When we will enable here URL filtering, then URL filtering will help us to control the URL available on the internet. Like, hmm, for example, Google. Google belongs to search engine. Facebook belongs to social sites. YouTube belongs to streaming video. You can also add here torrents. Torrents belongs to torrent. In this way, we will see multiple URL categories. Here we will get URL categories. Now on Palo Alto Firewall, we can say this is allow, this is block, this is block, this is block. Now, what will happen when client will say, I want to communicate with Google. Google belongs to search engine, which for firewall already know. Search engine is allow, then client can access search engine. If client says, I want to communicate with Facebook, Facebook is deny, not allowed. If client will say, I want to communicate with YouTube, YouTube is block, no access. If client says, I want to access torrent website, they are not allowed. Got it? If in future, if you want to allow some websites, you can also do. Okay, you can also do that when you will allow that particular website or URL we can configure as accessible in our organization. On Palo Alto Firewall, we have total, we can say 70 plus categories are available, and those categories, with the help of those categories, we can configure in this way that which category is allow and which category is deny. So with the help of URL filtering, we can minimize the risk of those attacks which will be spreaded by website, because when the user will access torrent website, from torrent website they will add download, and those softwares will come with the attachment of malwares which can destroy your data. So if we will restricted that torrent website, no one can access those websites. So definitely there are less chances or minimum chances spread of virus in our organization. So this thing can also be done on Palo Alto Firewall, and using URL filtering, you can allow or deny inbuilt categories. If some website is not here, so you can also create custom categories. So with the help of custom category, we can also do that. So Palo Alto Firewall also provides you an opportunity that you can also create custom category on firewall. Done. So this was our URL filtering. Next, we have here wildfire. So, what is wildfire? Let's understand it. To understand it, let's go through with diagram. Here we have a PC. We have a PC connected with Palo Alto. Palo Alto is connected with internet. Internet is connected with public server. Okay. And at this Palo Alto Firewall, we have configured rule number one. Rule number one says that if you know the attack, if attacks are known, action is here denied. And how we can come to know that we know the attack? We can identify the attack with the help of signatures. At firewall, we have antivirus signature, anti-spyware signature, file blocking signature. We have data filtering signatures. Like this, we have here multiple signatures available. Now, at this PC, one user is sitting. That user is sending a request to public server. That public server will give a reply. That reply is in the format of file, and that is simple file. Now Palo Alto will match file with its signature. These are the virus and spyware signature, and in this file or along with this file there is no signature matching. When there is no match, it means file is normal, then firewall will allow the file. If this file will bring any antivirus, any will bring virus, spyware, any restricted file format is there, then this file will bring attack with it. When file will bring attack with it, now firewall will check whether the signatures are matching, virus pattern, spyware pattern is matching in the file. Yes, at this time file had some suspected data which is matching with our attack. Now, if there is a match, then what firewall will do? Firewall will deny this file. So simple. Firewall or Palo Alto is working till now in this at rule number one. If firewall know the attack, then firewall can deny the file or attack. It's okay. But attacks are discovered day by day. Now assume that this file is bringing an attack which is called ZDA. ZDA means here 0-day attack. 0-day attack you can say, or you can also call it unknown attack. Unknown attack. Okay, you can call it 0-day attack or unknown attack. Now, file is coming with 0-day attack. Now, firewall will match this file with its non-signatures. Pattern is not matching with our non-signature. When it is not matching, it means there is no problem. Then the file which has ZDA attack, ZDA attack will be, you can see here, allow. So zero day attack will bypass the firewall because we don't know whether it is normal or it is attack. We can only call that traffic attack which attack we can identify, or signatures will define that this is attack or not. Now we don't have signature, so we can't deny it. So JDA will be allow and our host will be compromised here. Now we want to protect our network. We want to protect our network from ZDA. To do so, a technique was introduced which is called sandbox inspection. Sandbox inspection is marketed by Palo Alto with the name of WildFire. So sandbox inspection is equal to WildFire. Done. In WildFire, we configure firewall in this way that if attacks are unknown, if you don't know the attack, then action will be like this: send information to cloud/data send. We need to send information to cloud or data send. So this cloud belongs to Palo Alto. At internet, somewhere we have Palo Alto cloud/data center. Now this firewall will send information, unknown attack information, to cloud. Now firewall will send information to cloud or data center. Firewall will submit the file which contain ZDA zero-day attack. Done. Now this file will be analyzed by engineers or expert. They will identify it. They will identify it, or they will monitor it. If they will see any suspect, if they will identify it is malicious, or we can say yes, this is attack or virus. So the file which you have submit, definitely it is attack or it is virus. Then those engineers will generate update of it, and that update will be called with two names. So first name of that update will be called WildFire update, and second name will be called here antivirus update. So they will generate update of that attack or prevention signature. Okay, they will generate update, or we can say signature, to identify it and to protect it. So one update will be called here app WildFire update, and another will be called here antivirus update. This WildFire update will be sent to Palo Alto Firewall. Palo Alto Firewall will accept it. Palo Alto Firewall will accept it. When firewall will accept it, it will add the signature in its database. Now the attack which was unknown for us, now it is known. Now question is this: if we will submit the file, how much time it will take? So this time window When you will send any file, you will receive any update. This time window has limit 3 to 5 minutes. Means if you have submitted any file to Palo Alto Cloud, Palo Alto Data Center, you will get update or wildfire update within 3 to 5 minutes. Here you have submitted the file. Now here you have received the update, and this time window has 3 to 5 minutes. Only those customers which have wildfire subscription, they will receive the update. If any customer has no wildfire update, they will not receive the wildfire update. For example, we have Palo Alto Firewall without wildfire, so that firewall will receive the same signature update as a antivirus update after 24 hours. So what is the difference between wildfire update and antivirus update? Wildfire update you will receive within 3 to 5 minutes, but same update you will receive as an antivirus update if you don't have wildfire subscription. Okay, so initially we can say here before update, before update, when you don't have update, before update JDA will be allowed, but when you have update, then you can, when you have signature, when you have signature, then you can see here after update JDA will be denied. After update, your JDA will be denied. But remember it, if you are the first victim, no one can protect you. Clear? So what is wildfire? Wildfire is actually sandbox inspection. In wildfire or sandbox inspection, we configure Palo Alto Firewall in such way, if you don't know the attack or if attacks are unknown for you, you can send information to cloud. If attacks are unknown for you, send information to cloud so they can analyze it, they can mark it is attack, then so that they can generate signatures, and those signatures will be again delivered to you. Now the attack which was unknown for you, now it is known for you. Now onwards you can protect your network. So sandbox inspection is marketed by Palo Alto with the name of wildfire. So in wildfire or sandbox inspection, we configure firewall in such way that you need to send unknown attack information to cloud so that they can generate update for you. So this was our sandbox inspection, and this service comes with subscription. If you have subscription, only then you can send update, you can send attack information, you can receive update. If you don't have subscription, you can't participate in wildfire process. Clear? So this was our wildfire. Next is what? Next we have user ID. Definitely we'll discuss. Parth, you want to say something?
Uh, yes, sir. Sir, I just want to know that every time anything that comes in from the server and signature is not matched for this that thing. So every time it will go to the Palo Alto cloud or data center.
Yes, but not every data. Remember it. When it is simple, listen. When there is no problem with data, When the data is normal, that doesn't contain any type of abnormal signature or pattern, that data will not go to Palo Alto Cloud. Only that data or file will be suspected. Means, look here. If I will say to you that how you can say that particular person or candidate is ill, so you will match those criterias with the conditions of the patient or candidate. You will match with like normal candidates and with ill candidates. So in normal conditions, we have parameters like heartbeat will be in this parameter like 80, 85 or 95, whatever. Body temperature is like this, whatever, 97 point something something. Okay. And blood circulation, okay, in this way. So Palo Alto Firewall or every firewall like Checkpoint, FortiGate, they will not do anything with normal data. Only a file which contain abnormal pattern, abnormal signature, abnormal behaviors, neither that is matching with normal data signature or n- means non-malicious traffic, or not they are matching with malicious traffic, only that traffic will be forwarded, only that traffic will be forwarded to Palo Alto Cloud or data center. Clear?
Yes, sir. Sir, one more thing.
Mhm.
Can you go back to the content of the courses? Sir, can you give one example of this data filtering profile in Content ID?
Simple. Palo Alto Firewall has inbuilt signatures of like credit card and debit card signatures. Okay. For example, your company works in PCI payment card industry. Now, what you are doing, you have stolen your manager credit card number. That's CVV code. Okay, in this way. Now you have mentioned that information in a notepad file or Excel file. Now you are sending that file to outside your organization. Okay, so what we will do in data filtering, we will enable their DLP signature, data loss prevention signature. Okay, so when that file, which file the user is sending from outside the organization, Palo Alto will match that file with its DLP signatures. Now, file contain credit card numbers, CVV code, name like this. If any file will match with those signatures, you can generate log or you can block that or deny that. So this we will do at the time of practical. Clear?
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank
Hmm.
you.
Dinesh, you want to say something?
Yes, sir.
Dinesh? Hmm.
Yes, sir. Uh, so we need to perform this URL filtering, content area filtering, and the WildFire. So the data should be decryption, right?
Data will be
The data should be decrypted. Then only the
no,
Palo Alto
no, no,
Firewall.
no, 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 no. We are
Okay.
understanding it in wrong way. If you have encrypted data,
Mhm.
that encrypted data, we can read it with the help of decryption, or you can say we can decrypt encrypted traffic of SSL with the help of decryption. Now this thing clear?
Yes.
So this decryption, please mute, then again unmute if you have any question. Hmm. So with the help of decryption, we can convert encrypted data in plain text. Only this thing. Decryption, again I'm repeating, decryption will only decrypt encrypted data. but it will not do nothing. Only it will convert encrypted data in plain text format. Now we have plain text data. In plain text data, we can identify the applications that what is going under SSL tunnel, like Facebook, Gmail, Facebook chat, Facebook post, Facebook game, Google Drives, Google Drive upload, download, Google Map, etc., etc. So those applications you can identify, monitor, and control with the help of App ID. But here it will, you can only control applications, but you, till now you have not controlled the virus. If you want to control the virus, then you need to deploy content ID. In content ID, we will enable antivirus, anti-spyware, file blocking, and data filtering profile. Antivirus will protect your network from virus. Anti-spyware will protect your network from spyware. With the help of file blocking, you can control that specific user should not be able to download exe file and PDF file in your organization. With the help of data filtering profile, you can deploy if any file contain credit card information, then we can log that and drop that. So with the help of content ID, you will protect your network from virus, spyware, and file type attacks. Now, next we have URL filtering. With the help of URL filtering, because most of the virus and spywares are spreaded through website, like torrent website, like public servers. So what we will do, we can control the URL access of users with the help of URL filtering. If we will block the torrent website, user can't access them. If user can't access them, then there are less chances the spread of virus and spyware. But still, we have antivirus spyware profile. If still virus is coming through another method, we can still identify and block that. So till here, till URL filtering, you can block the non-attacks, which you know this is attack, you can block that. But here we are discussing about unknown attack, or which is unknown for us. So unknown attack, if you want to protect your network from unknown attack, or we can say from zero-day attack, then we need to use sandbox inspection. Sandbox inspection is a process in which a firewall or IPS sends unknown attack information to cloud. That cloud will analyze the file. That cloud will generate the signatures, and that signature update will be delivered to your firewall. Your firewall will accept the signatures. Now, the attack which was unknown for you, you can get update of that unknown attack within 3 to 5 minutes. So after 3 to 5 minutes, your unknown attack will be blocked on the firewall. So this sandbox inspection is marketed by Palo Alto with the name of WildFire. So this was our WildFire. Now, any problem till now?
Yes, clear. I have query in that wildfire. So if the server is located in internet, then the Palo Alto detects the file have malware something. It's a zero-day attack, means it's send a query to the Palo Alto cloud and waiting for either wildfire update or antivirus update. Instead of the server located in internet, it's in some our internal organization.
Then
At the
you
time,
can't. Then you can't. In that
okay.
condition, listen, according to our scenario, if the attack will bypass through the firewall, only the firewall can send in that information to cloud. If
Cloud.
this server is located in your internal network and user is trying to access inside to inside, in that condition, traffic is not going through the firewall. Then What we can't do, Palo Alto can't protect us. In that condition, we need to deploy endpoint protection. Endpoint protections means PC protection. And at PC, we need to deploy antivirus solution so that if anything is happening internally, that can inspect it, and that solution should be capable that can protect us from non-attack and unknown attack. Clear? But in that condition, firewall can't do anything. For that, we need endpoint protection solution or advanced endpoint protection solution we need to deploy. Clear?
Yes, sir, clear. Thank you.
Well,
Sir, I have one doubt here.
mhm.
Suppose thousands of files are coming from public server to the user. So all 1,000 files are going to be checked by Palo Alto with the
Uh,
signatures.
Yes. If
And
they are thousand, if they are 10,000, if they are million, billion, or trillion, any file which will pass through the firewall, firewall will inspect or match that file with the non-attack signatures. But remember it, only those files which are normal, firewall will not do anything with those files. But a file which is not matching with normal data, which is not matching with abnormal data, but still it has abnormal pattern, only those files will be sent to public cloud, not every file. Clear?
sir, you have said that two updates are sent to the Palo Alto if signatures are detected the firewall by the firewall engineers, and those two are WildFire update and antivirus update. So, what is the
Uh,
difference between these two updates?
I have already told you where were you at that time when any virus or attack will be detected. Their cloud or their data center will generate signatures. That signatures will be generated in two types. First will be wildfire update, which contains same signatures that will be sent to your Palo Alto. But this wildfire update, which was detected within 3 to 5 minutes, will be sent to your Palo Alto firewall, and Palo Alto firewall will accept it. Now, question is this: who can send this file? Only those firewall can send this file who have wildfire subscription. If you have wildfire subscription, you can send the file to cloud and you can receive the update within 3 to 5 minutes. But if your firewall has no wildfire subscription, it means you can't send unknown attack information to cloud. First thing. And if you don't have, for example, this is the second firewall which has no wildfire subscription. So this firewall will not receive wildfire update which is coming after every 3 to 5 minutes. If any attack or virus is in the internet, you will get the same update, means an attack which was detected now. You will get that attack signature or antivirus signature after how much time? 24 hours. After 24 hours, you will receive the same update. So you have to survive by yourself to protect your network because you don't have wildfire subscription. Clear? तो जिनके पास वाइल्ड का सब्सक्रिप्शन नहीं है उनको 24 घंटे तक कोई प्रोटेक्शन नहीं मिलेगा, 24 घंटे के बाद मिलेगा। लेकिन जिन्होंने ज्यादा पैसा दिया है, who have paid more, they will get attack information too early after 3 to 5 minutes. ये डिफरेंस है। Pay more, get more. So this was our wildfire. Next, we have here user ID. So what is user ID? Let's discuss. Next, we have user ID. We have here a PC connected with switch, connected with Palo Alto. Palo Alto is connected with internet. Okay. Now, normally at firewall, we will deploy policy like if this is the source, this is the destination, that will be allowed. But in our organization, we have Microsoft AD, and this user will be authenticated by AD. Means this user is a part of domain. This AD has groups like HR, like IT, like sales, like management. Now, what we will do with the help of user ID, we will integrate Microsoft AD and Palo Alto. We will do the integration of Microsoft AD and Palo Alto. With that integration, we will sync AD group with Palo Alto. So same group information will be shared with Palo Alto, like HR, like IT, like sales and management. Now at this firewall, we will deploy policy like if user belongs to HR, belongs to IT, belongs to sales, belongs to management, if user belongs to this group, if source belongs to this one, destination belongs to internet, and action we can define here allow. If these users are trying to access to internet, that will be allow. So what we have done here, so when we are doing Microsoft AD and Palo Alto integration, so that we can deploy here group based policy. When we want to deploy AD group based policy on Palo Alto firewall, we will integrate AD with Palo Alto. That will be called here. That will be called here user ID. So what we will get, first thing, we can deploy group based policy. Second thing, if any log will generate, that log will contain username as well. So user can't say that I have not. For example, we have blocked gambling website. When we have blocked gambling website, if we will not deploy user ID, then we will see source IP like 192.168.101.100, that user accessed poker.com. But we are not happy with this. What we have deployed? User ID. So after user ID, we will say receive here that user Anil has access. Which one? User Anil has access poker.com. So first thing, we will deploy group based policy. Second thing, we will get here accurate logs. In accurate logs, you will see the source user and destination website, as well as you will see the action, whether it is allow or deny. Clear? So conclusion, when we are integrating Microsoft AD with Palo Alto Firewall, so that we can deploy group-based policy and accurate user information we can achieve, that is called user ID. Clear? So that is our user ID. Next, we have monitoring and reporting. Monitoring and reporting means when we will do the things, firewall will generate logs, then we will learn how we can see those logs, how we can analyze those logs. Clear? So in this way, next you will also learn Panorama. Here you will learn what is Panorama, how to configure firewall with Panorama, and how to check logs, how to collect logs like this. So these labs we will cover, and these labs we will do after completing the firewall or Palo Alto firewall. Clear? So this will be the content which we will cover in this entire training. Now what to do? Copy it from your firewall introduction to till Panorama. Now, so I have just copy the content which we will cover. You can also check. This will be a checklist for us that how much content we have covered, how much is remaining as a reference. Okay. So today we have done what we have done. We have done here course content introduction. If we will complete it, then I will mark as that is done. If something is remaining, that will be in front of you. So today we will keep only this one, that what will be our course content and what are the features of Palo Alto Firewall. I have already discussed with you. So these are the features which you can configure on Palo Alto Firewall. Now remember it, these features like what is firewall, they can be provided by firewall, they can be provided by UTM. So these features till HA, till HA, these features can be provided by firewall or UTM. Okay, these are our when a device contain when a device contain wildfire or sandbox inspection. This feature is available only on next generation firewall. If someone says what is the difference between normal firewall and next generation firewall, so you can mention that these things which I have mentioned in front of you, a UTM and normal firewall has same features, but a next generation firewall has capability of wildfire, or we can say here sandbox inspection. Sandbox inspection is only provided by next generation firewalls. Done. So in this way, you can differentiate what is firewall. Normal firewall can also provide these, but next sandbox inspection is only provided by next generation firewall. UTM can't provide. If any UTM is providing sandbox inspection, still we will call that next generation firewall. Clear? In previous class, we completed till till course content introduction. Now we will start with firewall introduction, which I will prefer or use at the time of training to understand firewall clearly. Now we will start with firewall introduction, and to understand firewall we have information or slide in front of you. Okay. Now what we want to learn? We want to learn here what is firewall. To understand it, first of all, we will go through with a diagram like we have here PC1 connected with we have PC1 connected with router 1. We have PC connected with router via switch, PC, switch, router, another router, switch, PC. For easy understanding, let's configure IP address 192.168.101.100, 101.1, 192.168.1.1, 1.2, 102.1, and 102.100. In this way, when we will configure IP addressing and routing, then we can make it possible that PC1, this is our PC1, this is our PC2, that PC1 can communicate with PC2 and PC2 can communicate with PC1. This we will achieve after IP addressing and routing. Now, our requirement is different. What we want? We want only PC1 can communicate with PC2. To do so, we required a device which is called firewall. So we need to deploy here firewall. One firewall can goes down, then we will use here two firewalls and we will group them. So these two firewalls will work as a single device. Now what this firewall will do? This firewall will allow the traffic at this firewall. We will define policy. Policy like if source network is 192.168.101.0 and destination network is 102.0, then action will be allowed in this way. Now this firewall will allow network 101 to 102. Rest of the traffic will be denied here. Done. So whatever we have understood through diagram, same thing is mentioned here, that when we are talking about what is firewall, firewall is a system or it is a group of system. Firewall is a system or group of system that manage access between two or more network. Firewall can be single device. Firewall can be a group of device which will work as a single device here. Okay. We can use multiple firewall for redundancy purpose, and those firewall or that firewall will allow or manage access that one network can communicate with another. Done. Now, in present time, firewall can be hardware. When you are replacing router, when you are replacing a router with firewall, at that time, firewall will be in the format of hardware. Firewall can be software. When we have a PC or server, at PC we can install antivirus. At server we can install antivirus. When we are installing antivirus, that will work as a firewall as well. Or firewall can be virtual appliance in present time. Hardware we can understand, software we can understand, but when we will use firewall as a virtual appliance to understand it. In present time, we use private cloud and we also use public cloud. Private cloud means VM, where ESXi. Public cloud means Google Cloud Platform, Microsoft Azure, Amazon Web Service. On these private cloud and public cloud, we can deploy virtual servers. And to protect those virtual servers or to protect these virtual servers, we will use here virtual firewall. Done. So this virtual firewall will be used to protect virtual servers, vServers, on our public cloud and private cloud. Clear? So in this way, we can say firewall is a system or group of systems that manage access between two or more network. Firewall can be hardware, software, or virtual appliance in present time. Next, we have here firewall techniques. These are the major techniques used in firewall. First is stateless packet filtering, second one proxy server, third one stateful firewall, next transparent firewall, next generation firewall. Next generation firewall is your sandbox inspection, which we have discussed yesterday. Now let's go through with packet filtering, proxy server, stateful firewall, and transparent firewall to understand it. First, we have stateless packet filtering, or you can just call packet filtering. In stateless packet filtering or in packet filtering, packets are filtered using access list. With the help of access list, you can filter the traffic or packet. And in stateless packet filtering, packets can be filtered based on layer 3 to layer 7. You have the knowledge of CCNA and CCNP. In CCNA, we use access list. With the help of access list, we can filter the traffic from layer 3 to layer 7. Examples of access list: you can deploy standard access list, extended, named, and time base. Using these kinds of access list, you can filter the traffic layer 3 to layer 7. Along with these types of access list, we have another one like dynamic access list, reflexive access list, and TCP established keyword ACL. Now we want to know the advantage of ACL as well as disadvantages of ACL. Advantages are easy to implement and cost effective. How we can say it is easy to implement? We have a PC connected to router via switch. Router is connected with a server here. Now this is our source and this is our destination. Router interface 0 by 0, 0 by 1. At this interface packet will in, at this interface packet will be out. Either at in direction or direct out direction, you can apply ACL. If this server is providing the service of HTTP, we need to allow TCP port number 80. If this server is providing HTTPS, we need to allow TCP port number 443. If this server is providing service of SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, we need to allow 25. If we know the port number, then we can say it is easy to implement. How we can say it is cost effective? In packet filtering, we use ACLs. ACL can be deployed via switch or via router. If your infrastructure device like switch and router support ACL configuration, then there is no need to purchase any additional device. That's why we can say it can be cost effective in your organization. So these are two advantages of packet filtering: easy to implement and cost effective. Disadvantages are not scalable. So what is the meaning of not scalable? Not scalable means if we have some source, if we have some destination, and we have some services, then we want to know that how many ACL entries we need to create. If we have 100 source, 10 destination, and 10 services, then how many ACL entries we need to create here? Then formula is multiply source with destination, multiply with service. 100 multiply 10, 1000 multiply 10. So you need to create here 10,000 ACL entries. The job of creating 10,000 entries is not scalable. That's why we can say creating ACL is not an easy job. It is not scalable. Second disadvantage is here complex access lists are hard to create and maintain. You can't create complex access list. So what is the meaning of complex access list here? To understand it, let's go through with the diagram. We have a PC here. We have a PC connected with router, PC connected with router is connected with internet. Hmm, done. And at this internet, we have DNS server. Now, client client wants to access DNS, so we need to allow here. We need to allow UDP 53 at this router. Now, we have a client. Client will send DNS query that will be encapsulated under UDP 53. That packet will come at router. Router will check. Okay, that is allow. Now we can say DNS query is allow here. But we also have torrent server on internet. This torrent client will send torrent data that will be encapsulated under 53 using ACL. Torrent is also allow here. Now question is this: we can't deny this traffic at port number. So using complex access list means we can't create an ACL which can block torrent at port number 53. We can't do this. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of ACL. After ACL, what is ACL? Its advantage and disadvantage. Next thing, we have proxy server. So what is proxy server? First of all, we will understand it with the help of diagram. Diagram is in this way. We have a PC connected with switch, connected with router, connected with internet, and internet is connected with Google, Facebook, torrent servers. Now this user can access any website. We want this user should not be able to access Facebook and torrent website. To do so, we need to deploy here proxy server. When we will deploy proxy server here in this organization, so this will be our proxy server. When we will deploy proxy server, then we need to send the request to proxy. There are two methods to do so. First method of proxy deployment is explicit proxy. First way of proxy deployment is explicit proxy. So you can deploy proxy server in explicit proxy mode. This mode required client configuration. You need to do client configuration. So assume we have deployed proxy server in explicit proxy mode, and in this we will configure the client. Client will send the request to proxy server that I want to communicate with Google. At this proxy server, we will define policies. Policies like if someone initiate a request for Google, allow, Facebook, deny, torrent, deny. In this way, we will define policy. Now, when the request will come at proxy, proxy will check, okay, clients wants to communicate with Google, that is allow, or this rule is a policy. Proxy server will check policy. Proxy server will see, yes, that is allow. Now, proxy server will send the request to Google. Google will give reply to proxy, and proxy will give reply to client. Now you can see Google is allowed. If client will say no, second request, I want to communicate with Facebook. Request will come at proxy server. Proxy server knows that Facebook is denied. Now proxy server will say to client that Facebook is equal to deny. You can't access Facebook. So this will happen in explicit proxy. Next deployment mode is here, transparent proxy. And this transparent proxy this transparent proxy required gateway configuration. So we need to configure gateway here. Now, normally client will send the request to gateway. I want to communicate with Google. Gateway is configured. Gateway will send the request to proxy server. Proxy server will check Google is allow. Now proxy server will send request to Google. Google will give reply to proxy, and now proxy will give reply to client in this way. So here main point is this: either we are using explicit proxy or transparent proxy. Our request will go to proxy server. Proxy server will check the policies. If URL is allow, client can access it. If URL is not allow, then client can't access that. Whatever we have understood through the diagram, now you can say this is our internal network, this is external network. Request is going via proxy, reply is coming via proxy. So same thing is mentioned here, that when we are talking about proxy server works as an intermediate system between inside and outside world. Proxy server will not allow inside user to go outside directly or vice versa. Proxy server is also called application gateway or application firewall. Proxy server is mostly used for URL filtering. URL stand for universal resource locator and uniform resource locator. Proxy server limitations can be single point of failure. If you are using single proxy, definitely there is a single point of failure. To solve it, need to use two, primary and secondary. We can overcome with this problem. Next, it introduced delay. Definitely, client will send request to proxy or proxy will send request to internet. So definitely there will be a delay in millisecond which we can't solve. Okay, you have to bear delay if you want URL filtering solution, or to minimize the delay, used or purchase a good bandwidth for internet connection. Use sufficient resources at proxy server, or deploy a high-end configuration proxy server to minimize the delay. Next, we have here stateful firewall. So what is stateful firewall? To understand it, let's go through with diagram here. Diagram, we have a PC connected with, we have a we have a PC. So we have a PC. PC is connected with a firewall, that is stateful firewall, and that stateful firewall is connected with a server. PC IP 192.168.101.100, server IP 192.168.102.100. Now, client will use dynamic port number. It will hit to the port number 443. PC will generate a packet. Packet structure will be like this. PC will generate a packet. The packet will contain source IP 192.168.101.100, destination IP 192.168.102.100, source port 1025, destination port 443. It is TCP first packet, then TCP SYN flag will be attached with the packet. This packet will be delivered to the stateful firewall. Now, this stateful firewall will create a database like who is coming. 192.168.101.100 is coming. That is going to 192.168.102.100, source port 1025, destination port 443. It is TCP first packet which has SYN flag. In this way, a database will be created and this packet will be forwarded to server. Now, server will create a reply packet. That reply packet contain source IP address 192.168.102.100. Destination IP will be 192.168.101.100. Source port will be 443. Destination port will be 1025. And in the response of SYN, server will send SYN plus acknowledgement message. When this reply packet will come at firewall, firewall will check who is coming. 102, 102 matching. Which port number is coming? 443, 443 match with database. It is going to 101.100, 101.100 match. It is going to 1025, 1025 match. What is coming? SYN plus ACK. When? Yes, SYN plus ACK can come when we have initiated SYN. Yes, first we have sent SYN. In the response of SYN packet, SYN plus ACK is coming. Now, reply is matching with our database reply. layer 3 information, layer 4 information, and flags are matching with our database. When this information is matching with our database, this packet is allowed. This packet will be allowed. If any information in the reply packet will not match with the database, then this packet will be dropped here. But at this time it is matching. When it is matching, it will be allowed. So this is the job of your stateful firewall. What stateful firewall does? When stateful firewall receives a packet, it add packet information in database table. After adding information in database table, it forward the packet to destination. When firewall will receive reply packet, firewall will match reply packet information with its database. If information will match, packet is allowed. Otherwise, packet will be denied. So whatever we have understood with the help of diagram, same thing is mentioned here. When we are talking about stateful firewall maintain the state of connection when packet is traveling through the appliance or firewall. Stateful firewall maintain the state of connection in the state table or in state table. After adding information in state table, stateful firewall forwards the packet to actual destination. When stateful firewall receives the reply packet, stateful firewall matches whatever you will add here. Reply matches match the reply packet information to its state table. If reply packet match, packet is accepted. Otherwise, packet is dropped here. So whatever we have understood through the diagram, same thing is mentioned here. Now, some vendor call the firewall or stateful firewall maintains state table or connection table or session table. These tables can contain source IP, destination IP, source port, destination port, and additional information they can maintain like SYN plus ACK and ACK flag information they can maintain. Now, next technique is here transparent firewall. So what is the meaning of transparent firewall, or what is the use case of transparent firewall? To understand it, let's go through with the diagram. We have a PC here. We have PC1, we have PC2, we have server 1, we have server 2. They are connected with switch. Switch is connected. Switch is connected with router. Switch is connected with router. Route in same way. Okay. In same way, in another branch, we have PC and we have here servers. They are also connected with switch, and switch is connected with router. So you can connect these two routers with each other via leased line. You can connect them via internet. You can connect them via MPLS VPN in this way. So you have two or more branches, so you can connect them using these methods. When we have configured router here, so this is our router. At this router, we will configure IP addressing, we will configure routing, we will configure netting, we will configure MPLS, we will configure here IPsec VPN in this way. Okay. Now we want to protect our resources. To protect our resources, we need here firewall Okay, so where we will deploy firewall? We will replace our router with firewall. When we are replacing router with firewall, then we need to configure IP addressing again, routing again, netting again, MPLS not supported, VPN, and then we will configure firewall policies here in this way. But question is this, we don't want to configure IP addressing routing. We don't want to redesign our network again. If we don't want to redesign our network and we just want only firewall policy, for that we will use here transparent firewall. Transparent firewall will be deployed between local area network and gateway. Then we will connect lane with lane with firewall, firewall with gateway, and here we will deploy firewall policies. So this is our transparent firewall, and same solution in Palo Alto is called vWire, virtual wire. Got it? So this, whatever we have gone through the diagram, same thing is mentioned here. Transparent firewall works at layer 2. It forwards the frame based on destination MAC address, but still it has but still it has capabilities to filter traffic from layer 2 to layer 7. In another vendors, this functionality is available with same name or different name like virtual wire. So what is the advantage of virtual wire or transparent firewall? Advantage is you can deploy transparent firewall in your network if you want to implement firewall in your network without readdressing the surrounding device or without redesign your network. If you just want only firewall policy, you can deploy transparent firewall. So these are our firewall techniques. So we have gone through with firewall techniques, what is packet filtering, proxy server, stateful firewall, transparent firewall, and next generation firewall. Next generation firewall we have discussed yesterday, which is called sandbox inspection. For more information, please revise your first session. Done. So this was something about what is firewall. After firewall introduction, now we will go through with Palo Alto introduction, and for this we will use your handouts which we have already shared in your course. So this is just introduction of Palo Alto company. Palo Alto Network was established by Nirjuk in 2005. So this is the history of Nirjuk. So the candidate Nirjuk worked as a principal engineer at Checkpoint 94 to 99. After that, Nirjuk founded a company with the name of One Secure, and in that company he worked as a CTO, and that company invented world's first IPS. In that company, Nirjuk worked 2000 to 2002. After that, that company was acquired by Juniper Netscreen, and then Nirjuk worked for them 2002 to 2005, and in 2005, Nirjuk established another company named Palo Alto. Clear? So this information can be useful or useless for you. It is up to you. It is just means Palo Alto was founded in 2005 by Nirjuk, and this is his previous work history. Nirjuk invented App ID, which I have told you. With the help of App ID, we can identify the applications. We can identify, monitor, and control. We invented user ID with Palo Alto Firewall. So in user ID, you can integrate Palo Alto Firewall with Microsoft AD so that you can deploy group-based policy, as well as he invented content ID. So what is content ID? I already told you. When you will deploy antivirus, anti-spyware, file blocking, and data filtering profile, they will be count as content ID. With the help of app ID, user ID, content ID, these features builds a next generation firewall that can identify, control more than 3000 applications. When slides were made at that time, total signatures were 3000. Now there can be 6000 applications, there can be 9000 applications. So there's to remember, the count is not important. Here we just want to say that Palo Alto Firewall, Palo Alto Network, founded by Nirjuk. He invented App ID, User ID, Content ID, and with the help of these inventions or features, we can control more thousands of applications. Simple. In present time, there are three leaders: Palo Alto Networks, Fortinet, and Checkpoint. These are the three major firewall vendors which are leading in the world for firewall solutions. In this training, we will go through with PCNSE, Palo Alto Certified Network Security Engineer syllabus or content. The content which we will cover, I have already discussed with you. Now, whatever we have gone through with previous slides, same thing is here. Definition can be different here, but conclusion will be same. What is firewall? So, what is firewall? Firewall is a network security system that monitor and control incoming and outgoing network traffic based on predetermined security rules. Whatever the rules you have configured, whenever traffic will in or out through the firewall, firewall will check the rules. According to the rule, firewall will filter the traffic, or we can say firewall typically establish a barrier between trusted network, which is our trusted network, and untrusted network. And trusted network means internal network, and untrusted network means external network like internet. Now, you can also see here firewall types. There are two types of firewall: network firewall. So when we will replace router with firewall, that firewall will be network firewall. So network firewall filter traffic between two or more networks and run on a network hardware. Host-based firewall run on host computers and control network traffic which is coming in and out from those machines. There are three evolution of firewalls: first generation packet filtering, second generation stateful firewall, third generation is here application firewall. So what is packet filtering? We have already gone through what is packet filtering, types of ACL, advantage, disadvantage. Same thing you can see here, that first generation packet filtering. So first generation packet filtering, so they are the routers, and packet filter act by inspecting packet transfer between devices. When two devices will exchange the packets, they will be filtered by the router. When a packet is received on a device like router, that device can take following actions. Device can drop the packet, device can reject the packet, device can permit the packet. And in previous slide, I told you you can filter the traffic from layer 3 to layer 7. Same thing is mentioned here. Packet may be filtered based on source and destination IP, based on protocol, and based on port number. But here you will not learn advantage and disadvantage of your packet filtering. It is just introduction. Next, we have second generation firewall. Second generation firewall is stateful firewall, which I already told you. When stateful firewall receive a packet, it will maintain a database. It will forward the packet. When it will receive the reply, it will check the database. If it will match, packet is allow. Same here, you can see stateful firewall can do all functions that packet filter can do. In addition to this, they maintain knowledge of specific conversation between endpoints by remembering which port numbers to IP address are using at layer 4. Means I told you that they will maintain layer 3 and layer 4 information. They will maintain layer 3 and layer 4 information, and they are also stateful firewalls are also connection aware. Connection aware means first packet must be SYN, second packet must be SYN plus acknowledgement, and third packet must be ACK. If they are following the procedure, traffic is allowed. If they are not following the procedure, traffic will be drop here. So this was something about stateful firewall. Next is what? Difference between stateless and stateful firewall. The major difference is when we talk about stateless filtering or firewall. Stateless firewall, they do not keep track of packet context. They don't track like this. The first packet must be SYN, second packet must be SYN plus ACK, and third packet must be ACK. This procedure is not tracked by stateless firewall, while stateful firewall. So stateful firewalls are connection aware or state aware. They do track this procedure. Got it? This is the major difference in stateful and stateless firewall. Next is what? Next we have here third generation. Third generation is application firewall. Now, when we discussed at the time of packet filtering disadvantages are not scalable, and you can't maintain, you can't create or maintain complex ACL. It means if you have allowed UDP 53, DNS query can go, and torrent packet can also go or bypass the firewall using port number 443. To solve that problem, we have third generation application firewall. So the key benefit of application layer filtering or firewall is that it can understand your certain applications and protocol. Like this is FTP, this is DNS, and this is HTTP. Using application firewall, this application firewall is useful because it is able to detect if unwanted applications or services are attempting to bypass the firewall using disallow protocol on an allow port. If your torrent is going under DNS, it can detect that and it can block that. If your peer-to-peer traffic is going under HTTP traffic, firewall can detect that and firewall can block that. So with the help of application firewall, if we will allow DNS, only DNS will be allowed at port number 53. Rest of the traffic will be blocked. Clear? So this is the main advantage of application firewall. Next, you will see here that it may be possible that someone can ask you what is the difference between stateful firewall and next generation firewall. Stateful firewall, I already told you, it will remember the session, or it will remember layer 3 and layer 4 information. Remember it that next generation firewall, next generation firewall can has the feature of stateful firewall, but it is not necessary that every stateful firewall will be next generation firewall. Clear? So another words are also mentioned here. Next generation firewall includes typical functions of traditional firewall like packet filtering, netting, stateful inspection, and VPN support. The goal of next generation firewall is to include more layer of OSI model to improve filtering of the network traffic that is depend on the packet content. Next generation firewall performs deeper inspection as compared to stateful inspection performed by first and second generation. In network next generation firewall use, okay, leave it, no need to read line by line. Conclusion is this: don't if you want to go through with these line you can go, but break these words. Stateful firewall, define stateful firewall. Stateful firewall, remember the session or connection when packet is traveling through the firewalls. Finish it. What is next generation firewall? If any firewall has sandbox inspection capability, we will call that next generation firewall. Got it? And along with the next sandbox inspection, it also possible that next generation firewall can provides normal firewall features as well as UTM features. Simple, clear. So in this way you can define. Okay, so you know here that look, we know who invented who established Palo Alto? Nirjuk. And Nirjuk worked as a principal engineer in Checkpoint. And at that time, Checkpoint had the monopoly in one product which is called UTM. Got it or not? Okay. If Okay, so this is the company. At that time, there were two companies, Fortinet and Checkpoint. They were selling a product. Product name was UTM. Now, Nirjuk left the Checkpoint and Nirjuk established which company? Palo Alto. If Palo Alto will also sell UTM, now it is hard to beat them because they had the monopoly in that particular product. They have gained the trust of customers. Got it or not? So it is hard to beat them. So a another concept was introduced in the market, and that concept or term or name was here next generation firewall. That was the next generation firewall. Got it or not? So at that time when Palo Alto established, there were two words. There were two words: UTM versus next generation firewall. In UTM, Checkpoint had the monopoly and FortiGate had the monopoly. But Palo Alto can't sell the UTM product. So Palo Alto is saying, no, our firewall is what? Our firewall is not UTM, it is a next generation firewall. So it is simple, on a, just like competition. If you are selling one's product, so how you can sell the product to the customer? By giving them, by counting the advantage of your product, as well as you have also point out the disadvantage of your competitors. Same Palo Alto is doing here. Now Palo Alto wants to beat UTM product, or Palo Alto wants to gain all the customer of UTM. Now Palo Alto is saying here, what Palo Alto is saying? Palo Alto is saying here, when we are talking about before UTM, before UTM, this is our enterprise network, this is our internet. So we have lot of devices which forward the traffic from your lane to internet. Like we have to use firewall, we have to use for IPS, quality of service proxy server, antivirus, data loss prevention, URL filtering, etc., etc. So lots of devices were used in past to secure your network. Got it or not? Now we have more stuff which doesn't solve the problem, and firewall helpers have limited view of the traffic because we are just in at the edge of the network. What is happening inside, we don't know. To solve this problem, so this solution was complex and costly to maintain and buy, because we need to purchase multiple devices, we need to purchase multiple license, we need to hire multiple engineers here. Okay, now a term was introduced, all the features were merged into a single device, and when we have put all the features in a single device, putting all this in same box, then box will just goes slow. Got it or not? So this mentioned by Palo Alto in their marketing that UTM is a silo device. Got it or not? But it is not in this way. Listen, you have a product, you are selling that product to the entire world, you have the monopoly. So what are the strength and what are the weakness or of your product? Do you don't know? You know, but Palo Alto will never tell the customer that that is slow, but it is just means constructing your mind in this way that when UTM is doing all the stuff, then UTM will go slow. Got it? So when they are saying the UTM is slow, now leave it. It is only for marketing perspective. Now next we or they have added here cyber attack life cycle. How attacks are launched. Just like Hollywood or Bollywood films, when we want to do any attack on any individual or organization, first of all, what we will do? Research. We will identify and we will select the target. After selection, we will pair a remote access malware with exploit into a deliverable payload. That payload can be PDF file or Microsoft Office file. Now we have malware plus payload. Then what we will do? We will do the transmission of weapon. We can transmit that weapon to target. We can send via email. We can send via email attachment. We can send via website, or we can send via USB drive if that user or target is physically reachable. After delivery, the weapon code is triggered exploiting vulnerable application or system. Got it? Weapon which we have designed, when the user will open the file, that file will take advantage, or that weapon or malware will exploit the vulnerable application. Vulnerable application means, for example, you know that we use Android and Apple iOS phone. So time to time, what they do? They give us security patch. Got it or not? Because they are testing in the backend that what are the problems with this version. Got it or not? And to solve that, what they do? They generate security patch or security update. Same here. So whatever any application which you will design, definitely that has some weakness. Those weakness are called vulnerabilities, and if we have any tool which can take advantage of vulnerability, that is called exploit. So vulnerable applications are vulnerable applications are just cracked or exploit with the help of that malicious program or malware, which we will call weapon here. So weapon will install a backdoor backdoor application on target system, so that attacker can access temporary or permanent access. Then outside server. Attacker can communicate with weapon to provide hands-on keyboard access of inside network. When attacker tool will install backdoor application, backdoor application will give access to the attacker. Attacker can do his or her task to achieve the target or objectives of intrusion or exfiltration or destruction of data. In this way, attack is launched. But here we are not doing any kind of attack. It is just to make you understand. You can deploy Palo Alto Firewall for visibility in tap mode. You can deploy Palo Alto Firewall in transparent mode without changing your network. And if you like the features of Palo Alto, what you can do? You can do firewall replacement. You can remove another vendor firewall and you can add here Palo Alto firewalls. Clear? Okay. Next, we have here next generation security platform. Yesterday, I told you that firewall will send information to cloud as well as advanced endpoint protection. They will also they will also send information to cloud. So what this cloud is doing, this next generation security platform include three things: next generation firewall, threat intelligence, cloud, and we have advanced endpoint protection. Got it or not? What next generation firewall will do? Next generation firewall will identify and inspect all the traffic. This next generation firewall will block non-threat. This next generation firewall will send unknown threats to cloud, and this next generation firewall will protect mobile network and virtual network. Got it or not? Now, what this threat intelligence cloud will do? This cloud will get inputs from the next generation firewall, as well as it will also get input from the advanced endpoint protection. So same here, this threat intelligence cloud gathers potential threats from networks and endpoint. It will analyze them and it will disseminates threat intelligence to network and endpoint. So whatever it has learned, it will give the update to next generation firewall as well as to endpoints so that they can protect to themselves. Got it or not? So what this next generation endpoint protection will do, this advanced endpoint protection, it will inspect all process and all file. It will prevent from both known and unknown exploit or malware, and it integrates with cloud to prevent to known and unknown malware. Same again it is saying. So it will inspect all files. It will protect from known and unknown with the integration of threat intelligence cloud. Clear? So these are the three components for next generation security platform: cloud, next generation firewall, and advanced endpoint protection. So what is Panorama? If you have multiple firewall, you can manage them via a single or centralized server. That centralized server is called Panorama. But remember it, only Palo Alto Firewall you can manage with Panorama. So Panorama is a centralized network security management system that provides a consolidated policy creation and global visibility on multiple Palo Alto firewalls through a single web interface. With the help of Panorama, you can provide centralized management, centralized logging, reporting, software update, and administrative control to multiple firewalls. So conclusion, if you have multiple firewall, you can manage them via a single device that is called Panorama. Clear? So this is your just introduction here. Dashboard will be similar, just like Palo Alto. When we will do the lab, at that time you will see. There is a another term, autofocus. Autofocus is a part of hosted security service and it is a part of threat intelligence cloud. Now, I told you, or Palo Alto is saying that we will send information to threat intelligence cloud. Now, Palo Alto is giving you a picture that what we have in cloud. In cloud, we have autofocus, which is a part of security intelligence. Leave it. In threat intelligence cloud, Palo Alto says that we have thousands of users, we have millions of categorized URLs, we use or we take millions of sample per day, we have WildFire, we have Palo Alto database, we have worldwide how many units? 42 units. So when we are saying you will send or your firewall will send information to cloud, it is not just only a server. Cloud means we have worldwide 42 units in different countries which will check or analyze your files which you will submit to the Palo Alto cloud. Got it or not? So it is just giving you a picture. In future, these units can be 50 or 100, or these units can be 10 or 20 in this way, but leave it. This is just for marketing. No use of autofocus here. Okay, let's take a break. See you after 10 minutes. Okay, let's resume the recording. Okay, in before means in the beginning, we use enterprise IT, in which application security, data center, operating system, virtualization, server, storage, networking, data center. Everything was managed by customer. After that, a service came named with infrastructure as a service. In infrastructure as a service, application to operating system were managed by customer. Rest of the things were managed by service provider. Next, a term came platform as a service. In it, only application is managed by customer. Rest of things are managed by provider. Now we have a term software as a service where application to data center, everything is managed by providers. You have to just put or upload your data. Got it? Now it means you don't have control on anything. You will just add data here. Okay. For this software as a service solution, these vendors are introducing their solution, or Palo Alto has their solution, which is called Aperture. Aperture protect cloud-based applications such as Box of Salesforce and Dropbox managing permissions by managing permissions and scanning file for external exposure and sensitive information. If you will use software as a service, you will store the data here, so anyone can't see it, or if user is there that is trying to download the data, so you can control that with Aperture. Got it or not? So if any company is using software as a service solution, then they can purchase Palo Alto Aperture product or service to manage their boxes. Aperture dashboard will be like this. So no use for us. It is just introduction. What is Global Protect? Yesterday I told you that Palo Alto Firewall support SSL VPN. Palo Alto Firewall support SSL VPN, and SSL VPN is marketed by Palo Alto with the name of Global Protect. Got it or not? So we will learn what is SSL VPN. We will deploy it. So same thing is here, that with the help of Global Protect, PC, smartphone and tablets with Global Protect app automatically establish SSL or IPsec connection with the firewall with best performance for a given location. This word is useless here. So you can just define here that for Global Protect is actually SSL VPN, and using it you can make your work from home users to access your internal network, because we have read in previous slide that UTM is slow. UTM is slow, but Palo Alto Firewall is also providing same features as UTM do or UTM does. Yes or no? If UTM will slow, how you can say Palo Alto will not be slow? Now Palo Alto is saying no. Our firewall use a dedicated SP3 architecture. SP3 architecture means SP3 architecture, single pass parallel processing. So what is the meaning of single pass? Single pass means we will do operation per packet and we will use one single policy. In every packet, we will identify application, we will identify user, and we will identify the content. Means operation per packets, we will do application identification, user identification, and content identification. Single pass means operation per packet and single policy. So what is the meaning of it then? Parallel processing. Parallel processing means we have separated data plane and separated control plane, and we have function specific parallel processing hardware engine, or we can say firewall use dedicated hardware for specific functions. Clear? Now to clear it more, let's move to next. Palo Alto says that whenever packet will enter in our firewall in one policy with the help of single pass, we will identify user, application, and content, and then we will forward the packet. So we are processing only how much time? One time we are processing with the packet. But when we talk about UTM, here you can see packet will enter, firewall will check firewall policy, then URL filtering, then IPS policy, then antivirus policy. Now how much time processing is there? 4 time according to Palo Alto. So this multiple process will definitely increase the delay. That's why UTM is slow as compared to Palo Alto. But we will don't involve yourself in this kind of shit that who is the best. Listen here. In past, Checkpoint and Fortinet had the monopoly in UTM product. Now Palo Alto is leading definitely. In future, maybe another. So don't fight on these matters. Okay. Next, we have gone through with a word that they have separate control plane and data plane. So what is the meaning of control plane here? Control plane, control plane is the part of network device that carries configuration and management traffic and responsible for routing. And data plane sometime known as user plane, forwarding plane, and which is responsible for forwarding the traffic. Just keep the words, don't go with line by line. Okay, now this is the internal architecture of firewall. We have separated control plane for management and configuration. We have dedicated CPU, RAM, and hard disk, and dedicated interface. Clear? When we are talking about data plane, in data plane we have dedicated RAM and CPU, where we required signature match of IPS, virus, spyware, credit card numbers. Then for that we required RAM, so we have dedicated RAM. Where we do security processing, we do session setup, SSL, IPsec compression. For that we required both things, we required RAM and CPU, so both we have. Got it or not? So we have separate control plane and data plane, and for these plane we are using dedicated RAM and CPU. When we are saying 4000 series hardware architecture, 4000 series Palo Alto Firewall can provide you 10 Gbps throughput, can provide you 10 Gbps throughput. If we will compare next series is 5000 series firewall. 5000 series firewall can provide 10 Gbps to 20 Gbps throughput of real world traffic. Got it or not? And here you can see they have multiple core, multiple hard disk, multiple RAM, 12 core, 12 core, 12 core. So there is no need to memorize that 12 plus 12 plus 12. It is 36 CPUs are there, RAM are there. In another model, they can be increased or decreased. So don't go to in that shit. Just remember they can provide you 10 Gbps to 20 G. Single firewall can provide 10 Gbps to 20 Gbps network throughput or traffic throughput. Clear? Now, Palo Alto conclusion. So you have gone through with these two slides that Palo Alto will provide you 4000 series will provide you 10 Gbps throughput and 5000 series firewall will provide 10 to 20 Gbps throughput. So now you have to conclude that there is no one best as compared to Palo Alto. Same thing is here. Conclusion: with single pass architecture, Palo Alto network has made it possible to add a function to a next generation firewall, instead adding another security device. And this integration was done in such way that the integrated approach actually offer benefits and advantage that discrete device cannot accomplish. Means multiple device can't. Single device can provide all the features which is not possible through multiple devices. Clear? So this is the conclusion. So this is just simple marketing. Simple marketing in this way we know very well. Listen, first of all, there is no one is best. No one is best. Got it? And it is just like we Palo Alto is convincing to you that whatever you are learning, that is best. Okay, and if you will know, or if you can assume it is best, definitely you will tell to other it is best, so it will also work as a marketing strategy. Clear? Okay, so in this way, but take it just for reference. Okay, now we have data flow in open network east to west or north to south, where we have internet, software as a service, branch, headquarter, mobile device, data center, and virtual machine. Palo Alto says that to protect your all the needs, to fulfill your all the needs for software as a service, what you can purchase? Aperture. For your branch, you can use branch firewall. For your headquarter, you can use internet perimeter firewall. For your endpoints, you can use global protect. To protect your data center, you can use data center perimeter firewall. To protect your virtual machine, you can use your virtual firewalls. Clear? Next, we have here, okay, integrated approach to security. Palo Alto will provide you app ID, Palo Alto will provide you user ID, Palo Alto will provide you content ID. In your content ID, you will get antivirus, anti spyware. You will also achieve here file blocking. You can also deploy DOS profiles. You can also protect your network from unknown attack with the help of WildFire. You can do here URL filtering in this way. So these are the app features provided by Palo Alto. No need to remember everything. Leave it. Now just come to the advertisement or how many Palo Alto firewalls model available. Palo Alto provides VM firewall as well as physical firewall. We virtual machine firewalls are supported for VMware, ESXi, for KVM, for Hyper-V, NSX, AWS, Azure, Citrix. Now, virtual firewalls are also supported for Google Cloud Platform. Lower series of firewall is 220. Next is 220 R. Next we have 3000 series firewall. We have also gone through with the architecture of 4000 series firewall as well as 5000 series firewall, and we have here 7000 series firewall. Virtual machines are available VM 100 to VM 1000. Clear? So you can choose according to your requirement. Now to now it is just giving you idea that Palo Alto 280, sorry, 5280 and 5260, they are identical 5280 has double data plane memory, which doubles the session capacity as compared to 5260. OS is consistent across all platform. OS will remain same. And if you want to manage multiple firewall, what solution you can use? You can use Panorama. Got it or not? Yesterday I told you that we use WildFire. We use WildFire. WildFire solution, you can use cloud solution or you can use on prime solution on premise. So on premise you can deploy WildFire 500 and 600 series appliance you can deploy in your on premises. Got it? So these are just introduction and product introduction. We can say when you will compare VM platforms and their performance and capacity, VM 50 to 700 comparison is here. You can achieve 100 Mbps to 20 Gbps throughput. There is two types of throughput. Threat prevention throughput, which is 10 Gbps. Next, we have firewall throughput, which is 20 Gbps. So firewall throughput is high, threat prevention throughput is less. So firewall throughput without content ID means when we will enable more control, definitely performance will decrease. When we will enable less control, then performance will be fast here. Now you can see the difference between these two. You can check your firewall based on, you can purchase firewall based on throughput, maximum concurrent sessions, connection per second. Firewall threat prevention throughput is the expected throughput with all defensive option enable. When you will enable all the options, security options or features, that will be called threat prevention throughput, which will be less. Firewall throughput, it is the expected throughput with no content ID. Without content ID, definitely you will get, you are not deploying content ID means you are not checking the packet content, then definitely performance will be fast here. So threat prevention throughput, it is the expected throughput when all defensive option enable. Firewall throughput, it is the throughput with no content ID. Without content ID, that throughput will be called firewall throughput. And when we will enable all, that will be called threat prevention throughput. Got it? So firewall throughput, you will achieve here about 20 Gbps. Threat prevention throughput, you will achieve here about 10 Gbps. Clear? Next, we have here virtual system. So what is virtual system? When we have a physical firewall, we can break down physical firewall into multiple virtual firewall, just like Cisco, just like FortiGate, just like Checkpoint. So separate logical firewall within a single physical firewall is called virtual system. These virtual systems you can create on 3000, 4000, 5000, 7000 series firewall support virtual system. 2000, 3000 series firewall can support multiple virtual system only if the appropriate license is installed. 200, 300 firewall does not support VCs. To do so, you need to purchase higher-end series firewall. Some required license, some are available with by default license or with base license. Clear? So use case is with the, what will be the VCs? In a VCs consist a set of physical interface, logical interface, sub interface, and virtual router and security zone. But till now we have not gone through with zones. So just remember it. We can break down a physical firewall into virtual firewall. These are called VCs. Each VCs consist its own interfaces. Interface can be physical, logical, or sub-interface that will contain own policy. VCs you can deploy in virtual wire as a layer 2 firewall, as a layer 2 switch, or as a layer 3 device. Virtual system can be used for the segmentation of any following: when you want to segment administrative access, when you want to segregate or manage, do the segmentation and management of firewall policies, etc., etc. No need to go through with every line. Administrative interface, Palo Alto administrative interface you can manage via Panorama, via web user interface, or via SSH and console. Using these three approaches, you can do administrative task or configuration on Palo Alto firewall. If you have the knowledge, you can also use REST XML API. If you have knowledge, you can also use that. Clear? But we will use here these three approaches: Panorama, web, SSH, and console. Clear? Next is here initial access to firewall. When you have a firewall, either it is physical or virtual, it will use normal data interface like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. These are RJ45 interface. Firewall will also use dedicated gigabit interface port. Firewall has a dedicated management port. By default, management port IP address is 1.1. By default, username of Palo Alto is admin. Password is also admin. Got it or not? Firewall will also use dedicated management port, and it will also use dedicated serial or console port. This is old console port, or then this is your new console port. Got it or not? And by default, physical firewall IP address is 1.1. If you are using virtual firewall is by default enabled with DHCP client. So either DHCP will provide, or you can also do. And physical firewall IP address is 1.1. By default, username is admin and password is also admin. Clear? Okay. So in these slides, or in today's class, we gone through what is firewall, what are the firewall techniques, yes or no, packet filtering, proxy server, stateful firewall, transparent firewall. Okay, next generation firewall we discussed yesterday, as well as we also gone through that Palo Alto was established by Nirjuk in 2005, and his previous history was he worked in Checkpoint, he worked in one secure company, he worked in Juniper as well. Then in 2005 he established his own company, Palo Alto. Clear? Palo Alto provides a lot of features like user ID, app ID, content ID, etc., etc. And Palo Alto firewall is a next generation firewall which will provides which you will firewall will provide sandbox inspection, as well as another features like decryption, which is not mentioned in this slide. Decryption, app ID, content ID, URL filtering, WildFire, user ID, monitoring and reporting, which we have discussed yesterday. As well as in these slides we have also learn that what is the difference between UTM and Palo Alto. Actually, there is in present time there is no too much difference in Palo Alto, and there is no too much difference in next generation firewall and UTM, because all they provides sandbox inspection. But Palo Alto, according to Palo Alto, that use SP3 architecture, single pass parallel processing architecture. Single pass means single policy operation per packet. Parallel processing means dedicated control plane, separate plane, dedicated control plane, data plane, and dedicated hardware they are using. With that architecture, Palo Alto firewall can provide throughput 10 Gbps to 20 Gbps. This is the conclusion. Like another vendors, Palo Alto firewall also provides virtual firewall within a single firewall. Okay, those virtual firewalls are called VCs, which you can create only on high-end series firewall. That is not part of our training. Got it or not? And by default, username will be password admin. Now only this one. Next task is lab setup. Lab setup definitely we will do, but not today. Time we don't have sufficient time to do so. So lab setup I will tell you tomorrow. Got it or not?